So today we're going to be going over 10 fragrances that have absolutely brutal projection. These are no joke. These are kind of a weapon. I mean, these are going to push out. These are really going to announce themselves. So for environments in which you want to be a little bit more reserved, right? Workplace and school and that sort of thing, you're really going to want to be careful if you decide to wear these. You would really want to limit yourself to about 1 to 2 sprays if you wanted to wear these anywhere where you don't want to be too loud and obnoxious. But if you're in a situation where you want that strong projection, go to town, do a few extra sprays, and these are going to crush it. Projection, longevity, that's one of those things that can always be difficult because you can have a fragrance that is super strong, lasts like 3 days on your skin and fills up 3 entire rooms or something like that, but it may smell like crap, and no one really wants that. So usually when it comes down to it, you're looking for a balance of a really nice, semi-unique, mass-appealing smell, but also something that is paired with really good longevity projection. And in this case, we're focusing on projection. Not always, but a lot of times they will come hand in hand. It just depends. I will also do a similar video to this one, but in terms of longevity, and that'll be kind of a follow-up sometime in the future. The other thing to keep in mind with something like this is that a lot of times niche fragrances will make up the majority of the picks in a video like this because typically niche fragrances are going to be stronger in longevity projection. However, I did my best to make this designer centric. We do have a couple niche fragrances in here. We got like 2, maybe 3, but the rest are going to be designers. I'm trying to keep it as affordable as possible. Just keep in mind, generally, if you want really to try to find a lot of the strongest fragrances, they are going to be on the niche side, but there are a lot of designers here which are very strong in terms of projection as well. Let's just hop into it. First up, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal L'Intense. Technically a niche scent, but given the price, you know, it kind of falls into designer pricing, so this does not count as one of the niche fragrances here in this video. This one has chili pepper, almond, smoke, leather. It is a spicy take on the rest of the L'Homme line. Even more spicy, even more rich, even more amped up. I mean, this is next level. If you like the eau de parfum and you like the extreme, you're really going to like this one. However, if you're not the biggest fan of the other fragrances I mentioned, this may not be for you. So something where you have to exercise caution here and kind of really decide if this is going to be something you're going to like. But when it comes down to ultimate projection, this here gets the job done. Very strong scent. Next up, we have a fragrance from Issey Miyake. This one is Polaris. So the brand has so many different fragrances in bottles that look like this one, at least in terms of the shape. They use all sorts of different colors and designs, and some are painted like this, some are glass, whatever, but you've seen this shape of bottle many times before. So automatically that makes you think, you know, who knows if they have some really good knockout fragrances, because when they release this mini, it gets to a point where you keep trying them, they're a bit on the more boring side, and you're like, you know what, I'm just kind of done with it. And then they will come out and drop an absolute gem like this one. This is incredible. Leather, amber, and vanilla are some of the main notes. It is sweet, it's balsamic, it's resinous, it's rich, it's creamy. This is just, it's a shock, right? You would not expect this to be coming from this brand. It is just kind of out of left field, you know? This is so unique. It's winter-based, fall and winter time, cooler season, while a lot of their other scents are summer editions and freshies. It's just a completely different thing that they normally put out, and that's why I love it. And another reason why this one is so appealing is that the projection is very strong. This is not a weak scent. This is not a skin scent. This is one that will make itself known. It will push out and it will have everyone smelling you. But I also like that if you do dial down your sprays, you can also use this to be a little bit more of a cozy scent. Again, even with just a couple sprays, it's still going to be on the stronger side, but it won't be too obnoxious, right? You can just kind of dial it back, or you can choose to do a few extra sprays and really just go crazy with it. It's up to you, right? This one can kind of do a couple different things, be more cozy and refined, or be a bit more loud and kind of playful and just an attention grabber. Moving along, we have Azzaro Pour Homme Wild Mint. Mint, patchouli, and calypsone are going to be some of the main notes. Pretty standard. Essentially, this has a chocolate mint smell. So the chocolate's coming from the patchouli, the mint is coming from the mint, no surprise. It's a green, minty, chocolatey scent. The calypsone gives it this cooling, almost menthol type of effect. And you'll pick up on that throughout the life of the scent from opening to dry down. It's just quite different. It's quite interesting. And every time I give this to someone and have them smell it, they're just like, yeah, that really is like a mint chocolate type of thing. It's just quite weird. You know, this is not normally what you would expect a cologne to smell like, yet here it is. Now, the thing about this one, and this is good and bad, it is a obnoxiously strong scent. I have sprayed this in the air before, like when showing it to other people, and then I'm almost just like, why did I do that? Because then the whole entire room smells like it for a long period of time. Everyone kind of gets tired of it after a while there, and we're all just kind of like, God, that is strong. It just is so strong, and you wouldn't really expect it to be because it's not too awfully expensive, and it's just an Azzaro Pour Homme flanker. You know, you weren't expecting a beast mode scent, but it is. That patchouli really gives it a heavy base, and this one is just compounded strong. I mean, this is no joke. And the even scarier part, this is an eau de toilette, right? The lowest concentration. Well, not eau de toilette. Eau de cologne would be the lowest concentration, but generally speaking, most fragrances put out are an EDT to begin with, and then they work up to EDP Parfum. Imagine if they made this an eau de parfum or a parfum. That is a kind of cool idea, but also I really hope they don't do that because that's just going to be ridiculous. Very strong stuff. Great performer all the way around, and definitely a head turner. Next up, we have a famous fragrance from Versace. This one is Versace Eros. However, we're going with the eau de parfum. Because of the controversial reformulation talk with the eau de toilette, anymore I'm probably just going to substitute in the eau de parfum because this you can buy, and I know that it is strong, at least on my skin. It's going to vary, but you know, this has not been out for so long that's been reformulated. It's still basically brand new. So you can go out and buy this and be rest assured that what you're smelling now is what we're talking about now. We're all pretty much going to have the same batch here. So on my skin, it is a strong fragrance. Longevity is great. Projection is even better, especially with a little bit of heat. Now, it is better for fall and winter time, but if you wanted to wear it in spring or early summer or a summer evening when there's a bit of heat, that's going to aid in its super strong projection. But don't get me wrong, even when it's cold outside, it'll still push out too. It is just a brutally strong scent. Sometimes a bit too much. You gotta play with it. You gotta limit your sprays. It may be a bit overbearing for you if you just go crazy with it. So that's something to keep in mind. Test it on yourself while you're at home a few times to get a feel for it before you wear it out, because you don't want to go too much, but you also don't want to go not enough either if you're after turning heads and getting noticed. Just play around with it and you'll get it figured out. And that's kind of the same with most of the ones here in this video. Next up, we have Azzaro Wanted. So Azzaro is making a pretty big showing here in this video, and you know, they do have some really good performers and some really budget-friendly scents. Lemon, tonka bean, and apple are some of the main notes. It's got an Invictus type of smell, like a lemon-heavy Invictus. You know, I've said it before, it's not really my favorite. However, I can't deny that this is just a ridiculously strong scent. I don't have a bottle of it anymore. I did at one point, and now I prefer Wanted by Night, but when it comes down to pure projection, the original Wanted is hard to beat. I mean, this thing is just ridiculous. With this one, you know, it has that freshness, so it could be a spring scent, you know, early fall, but it also just is so loud and so sweet that you kind of want to wear it when it's colder outside, fall and winter time, because you want some of that cooler air to kind of knock it back a little. You know, it is strong. It's ready to go all the time. And if you're wearing it in the middle of summer, yeah, that's going to be a bit brutal. So I would advise against that, but of course, do what you want, play around with it. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, well, plenty of other options. But it is a strong projection monster regardless. If that's what you're after, you want mass appeal, this is a nice one. Let's move on to one of those niche fragrances now. From Roja Parfums, I've talked about this one other time here so far. This is Fetish Pour Homme. So a newer addition, actually Roja was kind enough to gift this to me along with a couple others. Great company. They do take care of their customers. They also take care of, I guess, us reviewers. I am also a customer, though, because I've purchased a lot of fragrances directly through their website. So I am a customer, although I also happen to be a reviewer. So it's kind of cool that they take care of me, but also I take care of them by actually buying from them and also talking about them like here on the channel. Fetish is a strong castoreum, lime, leather fragrance. I mean, this is also no joke. You know, this is not for the faint of heart. in multiple ways. One, the performance projection, which we'll talk about in a second, but first of all, just the scent itself. This is a powerhouse. Brutal, strong, no holds barred, in your face, strong scent. Did I say strong enough times? I got to get it across to you somehow, and sometimes it can be kind of difficult. You know, this is Roja's style, right? He has other fragrances that also embrace just the masculine smell, you know, from Scandal to Reckless to a few others in his main kind of Parfum line here. They really do embrace just the masculine side of things versus a lot of other newer fragrances these days, designer and niche, going a bit more on the line. This is masculine all the way through. It's no joke. And going over to the projection side of things, yeah, same story. I mean, you look at the color of the scent, which isn't always an indicator of something strong. Sometimes it is, sometimes it actually is not. Now, you can color a fragrance whatever you want and it can perform like water. But in this instance, it really does do it justice here. I mean, it maybe doesn't look as dark due to holding it up to the extremely bright lights, but in normal room lighting, it's dark stuff. Definitely, I think one of the darker Roja fragrances I own in terms of its coloration here. This one and Creation E are both pretty on the darker side, but it just gives you the impression right off the bat that it's going to be a beast, and when you spray it, then you're like, oh yeah, I was right. This is no joke. I've said this before, I sprayed it up in the air when I first got it, and it did not go away. It stayed for so long. It just hangs in the air, man, and on your skin, it pushes out like wildfire. So if you are not afraid to get some attention, good or potentially bad if you go overboard, Roja Fetish is a nice option. For the niche connoisseurs out there, connoisseurs like the video, for the people who want something a bit different, this one here is one you should look into. It's not cheap, but you can get it at Twisted Lily and use my code CHAOS10 for 10% off. That means you're going to save almost $50 off a bottle of this stuff. And that code works for everything, always site-wide. Make sure you take advantage of that. You really can't get this discounted that often because it usually doesn't run discounts otherwhere, but on Twisted Lily, CHAOS10, it's your ticket to save $50 on this. That's a pretty good deal. It's really solid. Let's move back over to the designer side. We'll come back down to earth, right? We'll get back on a more somewhat normal playing field here in terms of non-astronomical prices, because I get niche fragrances, Rojas, while they are top-notch, very expensive, from a designer, again, a bit more expensive, but a bit better. Armani code Profumo, tonka bean, amber, leather, some of the main notes. Kind of has a root beer accord. It's sweet, it's powdery, it's kind of has a smooth dustiness from the vanilla, the way it's coming across here, and very strong. Very, very strong. So when we were talking about Fetish, you know, it's masculine, it is strong, assertive all the way through. This is also very strong, but it's not masculine in the way that Roja is. This one is one where it's kind of taking that line from extremely masculine over here and just bumping it over, because it has sweetness, it has powderiness. This is a bit more of what you would expect to see released nowadays. And this came out in, what, 2016, 5 years ago? And we're still getting stuff like this, you know, it's just getting sweeter, the line's getting pushed, we're just experimenting with different types of men's scents. That's kind of what this one is about, but it does magically in the compliments department and the party scene, the playful type of thing, night out, and also, of course, it is a projection monster. Performance in general is really good on this one. It'll push out, it'll last a long time. It just works so well, and that's why it's so popular. We'll go ahead and knock out that other niche fragrance real quick. This one is a serious tank. Another one that is just absurd. Like, it's just weird because so I'll tell you what it is. It's BR540 Extrait. So there's an eau de parfum of this. Not an eau de toilette, an eau de parfum comes in 2 concentrations, and that eau de parfum is still one of the strongest fragrances that I own in my entire collection. Out of everything, the eau de parfum is still one of the strongest. To say it is the strongest, you're getting to a point where you're splitting hairs with some other stuff like Fetish and a few others. It's splitting hairs, but really one of the strongest. Top 3 for sure. Once you get into the Extrait, then you're kind of like, why is this a thing? Why do we have this? Now, don't get me wrong, there's a difference in smell. This one has almond, saffron, amberwood. The addition here is the almond, so it adds a creamy nuttiness, whereas the eau de parfum does not have the almond. It's a bit more transparent. The almond just kind of beefs this one up in terms of its scent profile. On top of that, it's an Extrait, so it is even more concentrated it lasts even longer, and it projects even more than my eau de parfum. Why would you need that? I don't know, but it's here and I have it, and it is really freaking cool. Just to have something that is this strong and potent is just, you know, a lot of times I don't wear it that much because it is so strong, but if I'm in the mood for it and I just want to kind of be obnoxious and wear something that costs, what, over $500? Yeah, this is kind of what I'll go for, and I'll feel like a D-bag, but hey, that's okay. I'm the strongest smelling person in the room. That's pretty cool. Similar thing, not a cheapie, so if you want to get this one actually at a discount versus sometimes on discounters it's more expensive than retail, get Twisted Lily. It will be linked down below. Use that code CHAOS10 for 10% off. I don't remember what the price is on this one either. I think depending on the bottle size, over $500, that's over $50 off, just kind of as a baseline there. Yeah, you can save a lot of money with that code over there, so make sure you take advantage of that. Spicebomb Extreme, yet another projection beast, back down to the designer side here. Vanilla, tobacco, black pepper are going to be some of the main notes. Really all you need to know about. I don't think there's too much more than that I'm missing here. That just is a really good summary of what this one is all about. You get an equal blend of each of those. A nice creamy smooth vanilla, a nice head turning pepper opening, a nice strong masculine kind of warming tobacco. This is top notch. One of my favorite designers for the winter time for its smell alone, because it's a gorgeous smelling scent, but also its projection. It is a strong projector. It pushes through the cold air through the winter time, and it also lasts a long time as well. All in all, great projecting, strong, long-lasting, beautiful smelling scent. About $100, so it isn't all that affordable either as far as designers are concerned, but it's worth every penny if you're after something like this. And to finish this video off, everyone's favorite fragrance, Bentley For Men Intense. Incense, rum, leather are some of the main notes. It's kind of one of those divisive ones where every time I mention it, you know, I get a bunch of comments saying that I shouldn't talk about this anymore because I tried it and I don't like it. Well, I'm sorry. I love it, and the majority of people who talk about this one and who I hear about also really enjoy it. You know, I make it as clear as day in every video, every time I talk about this, that this is not for everybody. So if you are a Nautica Voyage and blue fragrance collector, that's what your collection is, and you jump over to this, it's going to be pretty obvious that you probably aren't going to like it right off the bat, so you have to use, for lack of better terms, common sense here when it comes to picking up something like this, because again, I can't make it more clear, not for everyone. But if you are someone who likes something like this, and again, it should be pretty standard based off what you have in your collection now, you're going to love it because it is a strong projector. It's a smoky, boozy, warm, masculine, classy scent, and it is incredible. It's also very affordable, $35, $40. You can't beat that. It doesn't get much better than that for the price. That's going to do it for me, guys. That is 5 brutally strong projecting fragrances here. Again, primarily designers. I do have a couple niche, and those niche are just on the extreme end of it, so try to give you a nice little mix here depending on what you like. If you want even more content, I do encourage you to check out my channel memberships. Something that I've been putting some more effort into, trying to revamp it and make it just more interactive for you guys. There's 3 different tiers, and essentially, depending on which tier you choose, you can get access to different things. Personally, I recommend going to the Eau de Parfum tier, and in that one, you get early access to videos just like this. You get bonus videos, so bonus reviews, bonus top 10s, that sort of things. And that also gets you access to extra giveaways over there, in addition to the ones I do here on the channel, on my stories and stuff every week. And if you really want to take it to the next step, you can join my Parfum tier. That gets you access to everything else in addition to a private Discord. So you can join that Discord, chat with me, chat with the other members, and just kind of talk about what's going on. If you have any questions about what scent you want to get, you know, I can give you some guidance there. It's just all one-on-one. It's a way for you to get some more guidance, because it's hard for me to get back to everyone in the comments, and the comment threads get lost, and it's hard to keep a conversation going, so that's kind of a solution. And also in this tier, your name will be featured on the side at the end of each video, so that's kind of a cool way to for me to thank you for supporting, to put your name on the big screen, even though this isn't TV or anything like that. But hey, still kind of cool, I guess. And if you want to grab any of the fragrances we talked about today, they will be linked down below. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.